So you have to go back and do
Yeah,
the road
to
again.
retain.
That is to say, it's a governor that has the people's interests at heart.
Yes.
The governor that has quality, you know, that put premium on quality jobs and projects. So we should commend them, and they should continue to do so. As we said, they should continue to do more, because the problem, as far as Delta State is concerned, is what Martini also will continue to follow them bumper to bumper.
Yes.
You know, these problems will not go. But we thank God we have people who are doing that.
OSAWARU, looking at it critically, you know, which is the best way now? We are discussing this, but there must be a best way of control, best way of flood control. Which way do you think should be, you know, applied?
All right, thank you very much. First of all, the best way of flood control, when projects are being, you know, put in place, especially urban projects, rural projects that has to do with development, drainages should be the first priority. Drainages should be the first priorities. Drainages that we channel to a reservoir. That's one way. Another way for this major flooding that we are expecting now that has ravaged Borno State, that the vice president took off his canvas and was swimming.
Trouble.
That kind of flood is coming. Seriously. And it's coming from the north. So we even have advantage.
And it's coming this way.
It's coming this way. We have advantage. We should be ready. We should prepare. By now, I don't think we don't even have our IDP camp. IDP camp has not been prepared.
Yes.
It has not been prepared. You see that kind of flood that is ravaging the north now, that we too will experience very soon. What government needs to start doing is to see how they can start doing dredging.
Yes.
Start dredging the banks of the river.
In those days.
They should start doing dredging so that there will be enough space for the water to be accommodated. Because it is when it is silted, when the river is silted with sand, that is when you see it flows to the bank and start taking over communities around it.
Yes.
But if it is dredged, it has a lot of room
to
accommodate it.
Both the ones coming from the town.
From the town everywhere.
One coming from,
Thank you. Look at the one they did at Anwan River.
Yes. Okay.
At the time it was so deep. As I talk to you now, it's like a football field.
Yes. It's up again.
It's up again.
Yes.
So these are the measures we need to start putting in place to control flood. Dredging and continuous dredging. Dredging, and then when we do it continuously, it will get to a place the water himself will now realize that there is no going back again. Let me remain where they put me.
Yes.
Because then the preparation would have overwhelmed the level of water that is coming.
Yes.
That's another control. Another control is this estate valuers we are having everywhere in ASABA.
Okay.
He just made mention of deforestation. And I want to beg him, since they are in charge of orientation, and I'm happy their office is directly under the governor of this state, they should call the governor's attention.
Yes.
If you are having your executive
Many
meeting,
of them are
as I talk to you now, sir, they have cut down all the trees that are another avenue of control of flood. You
Because
just
of,
thank God
the
deforestation came from you. That's to tell you how abreast you are in the things that has to do with flooding and not flooding. They've cut down all the trees, bulldoze all the land in the name of estate value, selling of land. Now even our farmers now, they don't have farm to farm. The thick forest that they are supposed to go and farm, herdsmen are not letting them come there again to farm. That is why there is food shortage in our south here. Because they can't go into the thick forest now to farm. The lands that were close to the community has been taken over by estate valuers. And the trees that are supposed to save this flood from ravaging this community are all been taken away. We should go back to start planting trees.
Afforestation.
Afforestation.
Yes.
Let's go back to afforestation. Start planting trees. Because it goes a long way. Not only flooding, it controls. It also controls other natural disasters like heavy wind, tornado, and the rest of them. Aziza, that wind they call Aziza.
Yes.
It controls them.
So there's no way it can be done in the forest.
Thank you. So these are measures to control flood. And I want to beg our guys here, Orientation Bureau. These people have come in the name of land. That's why there is flood everywhere. Because they are the one building houses, building mini estates inside town that is not causing all this problem. Because the Ministry of Lands and Survey, after doing what they want to do, they will just give approval. Look at this road now. This is a major road. Why would there be flood on this road? Why would there be flood on this road? Thank you. Why would there be flood on this road? And Igbuzo Road has a straight road that links to the River Niger.
And there is a drainage.
There's a drainage there.
Everything has been blocked.
So then, to control flood too, we need to have routine maintenance of our drains. Routine maintenance of our drain. Serious one. You can see now we are complaining about water flooding. Very soon now, we'll be experiencing a sandslide.
Okay.
We'll be experiencing sandslide because most of those our area in Ogbonpa, all those Ogbonpa area, all those places now, they're already experiencing sandslide.
Yes.
That is why you are seeing those gully there, that new map from Ministry of Environment. A new map are now coming to salvage the issue. Yes. It's as a result of all this deforestation and the rest.
Those ones are big money.
Big projects. So we need to prevent these things. We need to prevent them. And these are the measures we need to use to control flood. Because you see all these houses we are building up and down. If we don't face it now, I tell you, the water that will be driving us from our house, it's already happening. Look at what happened in Lagos, where Lekki was submerged.
And Lekki, if you see Lekki, well done.
Thank you. Even with good drainage system and everything, but it was still threatened and submerged by water. So I think we're protected, but still, because like you said, water is powerful.
Yes, seriously.
Water must find its way. You cannot hold water, and you cannot be an enemy to water. So we need to put this mechanism in place, and government needs to checkmate these things. Government needs to checkmate these contractors that are giving projects to do drainage, to do road. You cannot do a road without a drainage. That means you will come back to that place again because water will spoil the asphalt. Because the essence of drainage is to ensure that the asphalt lasts long. But fortunately, so these are the areas we need to put in place. Then proper orientation. I've always heard, since they gave Oga Latimon this job, even when he was an SA, he mouth not they closed.
Exactly.
So they knew what will fit him. That's why they gave him the executive assistant to the governor on orientation and Peru. And the person who was there before also did well. Anadiji. The person who was there before, Uzum, Barrister Ima Uzum, he did well too. So I think these people should not just talk the talk, they should walk the talk. When you are talking this, you are doing this exercise, walk the talk. As the DG, you should come out to the streets, see that people are even hearing your sensitization. Yes. Because it's one thing to spend money for media for publicity. It's another thing to know if the publicity is even getting to the people, is working. So I think they should also come out to the street and ask people, una dey hear wetin dey happen, so una dey hear the jingle, una don hear. This one say I hear, you don't hear, now you still dey do am. Now like this flood that is coming now, we need to start orientating our people that stays by the water bank.
Seriously.
There was a clip you just showed now. That clip is my 5.
Okay, yes.
That was where my church is.
Yes,
that clip, that was where my church is. Okay. It was submerged by water.
Yes.
That clip, I just saw it like 3 years ago. Okay. I just saw the clip and it flashed me back. Yeah. That was where my church is. That particular building, my church was opposite that building. Yeah. It was submerged by water.
Seriously.
And that was what drove a lot of people out from there before the government came and do what they want to do. So we should prepare ourselves.
So, Tim,
Yeah.
you have been hearing what he's saying.
Yes.
And, we want to look at, building on waterways or illegal building. Is government that have the right to control these things? They are the people who, approve before you build.
Yes.
But why is it like that people also build on waterways or illegally? Why? Why that thing is happening?
Thank you very much. There is this human nature.
Okay.
We call it a kind of anomy, where people are always predisposed, to contravening, laws of the land. You understand? For one reason or the other.
Okay.
That is human nature. However, if a person that made any infraction against a policy of government, such a person should be held liable to serve as a deterrent to others. Now, we also have human nature that is susceptible to corruption.
Okay. Because the people who are even there.
Fine, those who are saddled with the responsibility to, like the town planners, there are always some bad eggs that compromise for one reason or the other.
See.
Such persons should be fished out by law enforcement agencies to see that they are prosecuted.
Seriously.
Because if you allow an infraction to continue for a long time without paying attention to it, or holding those who are responsible liable, others will see it as a norm.
It becomes a norm.
And they continue with it.
True.
So those town planners, Ministry of Lands and Housing, should also have internal mechanism to checkmate the bad eggs there, to ensure that any house or any plan that is submitted to them, and they see that that plan, in one way or the other, is encroaching on general government plan for the community or whatever, they should stop it. No matter whose horse is God's, they should try as much as possible to be courageous, muster the political will to see that such action does not take place. That's one way that the government can also ensure that building on waterways is stopped or reduced to the barest minimum. Now, that is for government. Now, let's go to the communities also. The communities also have responsibility.
But maybe they sold that land.
They sold those land. Now, do you know that every community has a community development committee?
Yes.
Is it not so?
Yes.
And this committee had the responsibility to ensure that any resident of that community or an indigenous of that community should not build on where it is mapped out not to build on.
Yes.
Because communities have their town plan.
Yes.
You understand? Let me give you an example where the community development committee is very, very functional. It is in OLIE.
OLIE.
The headquarters of Isoko South local government here.
Okay.
If you go to that community, almost all the roads, the streets, they are tied.
Okay.
And they have drainage.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I don't know whether
All.
I've been there.
I've been there, sir. All has
They
drainage.
have drainage.
All.
You understand?
Okay.
And you know what? The interesting part of it is this. When once any DPO
Yes.
is posted to that community, they will pay a costly visit to that DPO
Yes.
and tell the DPO that, look, this is our community plan as far as the government is concerned. So if cases of those who contravene comes to you,
Yes. Don't treat it.
don't treat it with levity.
Yes.
Refer that case, just call us.
Yes.
So that you also, so you see that the law enforcement agency is also integrated
Yes.
into the plan to see
Yes.
that people observe and respect the community plan.
Yes.
And that's why you see OLIE today. I think I can boast of OLIE as one of the communities that have a very good plan. So communities in Delta State should also borrow a leave from that community.
Not selling land anyhow.
That's why it's difficult to see flood, except a flood that is very natural, that they have no control itself. But they have put measures in place to see that it is controlled to some extent. You understand?
Yes.
That is the community aspect of it. Then, as we have said earlier, individuals also have a responsibility. Like what my friend, tried to implore the Rotation Bureau to do. The Rotation Bureau have been very, very proactive, as I said, under the leadership of our indefatigable DG, that is Dr. Latimer Omenesiwe, JP. Our the flood control mechanism through awareness has started long time ago before the rainy season, if you remember very vividly.
Okay.
It started long before the rainy season. And into the rainy season, continuously, very aggressive. And flyers are also printed. And not only that, jingles are running.
Why is it that the government are always late in desilting the drainages?
No, the thing is that is an issue that my colleague here has also addressed, that we should not delay, we should not procrastinate. It's a continuous thing.
Yes.
It's a continuous thing from time to time. It's not only when rains are coming. You understand? Yes. That we maintain the drainages so that if the rain comes, the level of flooding will be reduced.
Yes, very well.
Even though sometimes you cannot totally rule out, but it will be reduced and brought under control. So, as I also mentioned earlier, that the Orientation Bureau soon want to hit the communities in every local government to see that they have direct orientation, sensitization exercise with the people.
Okay. Yes.
As he said, to let them know that look, jingles have been running. Why have you not done this? Why have you not done? These are the advantages, not only to government, but also to you as an individual.
Yes.
Because when a human being sees something that affects it directly, it is when he will take action.
Yes.
I think the law has a limit of where you're supposed to
build
deceit your
and deceit your refuge or whatever. And the drainage. I gave you an example some time ago of how Ozoro, when I traveled back to Ozoro on weekend, I discovered that most of the drainages have been desilted.
Okay.
So I asked,
That's before now?
Yeah, before now. I said, who did this? How come this? I've not this strange. And they told me that Agogo went round.
Okay, yes.
You remember that experience I shared with you?
Yes.
That Agogo went round and warned that if you don't desilt your drainage and clear the grasses surrounding it, that you are going to pay 100,000 naira.
Wow.
Now it's the community now.
Yes, that is
not so.
true. Yes.
It's not government that is ASABA.
No.
Yes.
Because government in ASABA, they say that is far away. They will not come. But now, look at you, look at me. The king has made a pronouncement. And if you default, they are going to arrest you.
Yes.
And you are going to pay. And they are going to pack your property. So they were not in fear. So they started doing it. So that's how they
all
did.
The community should borrow a
They live from that.
See?
So if we do this in our little way, you see that the environment will be a kind of free from this, damaging and destructive flooding that we are seeing today.
Ade, just 1 minute advice to the people and government.
All right, thank you very much. What I just want to tell the people, my people, Delta OLIE, please, the flood is coming, and it is true. If you listen to the news, it has taken over the north, and you know we're in the Sahara area. Please, if you're staying around the water flood area, start moving your property, because when it gets spoiled, government will not replace for you. It is your life that is important to government, not even your property. So take your property out so that this flood will not ravage you. And to our government, we are in the state of more agenda. Our Excellency, the government officials, more is what we need from whatever activity you have to give to us.
All right. Thank you so much for being here with us. OSAWARU, ADENIYI, you are welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir,
for being here for us. And Timothy AGBARAGU, the orientation man, thank you for being here with us. We have come to the end of today's program. I remain your host, GILBERT OLIE. We'll come back again with another topic next week for a fresh edition of this You and Your Environment. Thank you so much, and God bless.